When I was a young man, I remember one time crying out in anger, in rage. I didn't ask to be born. This was probably directed towards my parents. I'm not sure when I said it, but I can remember saying that with a lot of passion. I didn't ask to be born. But later on in life, I began to realise that is certainly not the case. We are spiritual beings. I fully believe that now. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience, and we did choose to be born. This came home to me thoroughly at 50 years of age. To explain what happened, I'm into serious meditation. Vipassana meditation is taught by the late Mr. S.N. Goenka. And I've been a practicing meditation practitioner now for 35 years. But when I started with a 10-day course, which is pretty standard. A 10-day course of total silence, of 10, maybe 11 hours meditation every day, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, starting meditation at 4:30, and not finishing until 9:30 at night. And I did 3 of these 10-day courses within a period of about 8 months. And after one of these courses, I'd booked myself in to do what they call a rebirthing session. Now, with Vipassana meditation, when you've done a 10-day course in total silence, sometimes sitting in a cell which is completely blacked out, not talking to anyone, not talking to anyone at all, making eye contact, what happens is the mind becomes very still, very sharp, and you begin to realise a lot of things, that I am not my thoughts, I'm not my thinking, I'm not even my body. But I won't go further into that here. What I will say is this. I finished my course on a Saturday morning and went home. The very next day, I attended my one and only rebirthing session. Now, a rebirthing session is actually, the process is done by hyperventilation. This hyperventilation, this type of breathing, takes you back in time. And I was taken back right, not just to the early days of my infancy, as is most common. I was taken back to when I was actually born. And the process was a long one, and I can remember all the other students, I might use that term, like that rebirthing course had already finished. But I hadn't changed at all. And I thought, nothing's happening to me. And then this older woman, she would have been in the 60s, she was a World War II nurse. She said, come on, Tom, you must be finishing up now. And she rolled me onto my side, because I was lying down on the floor on a mattress. And as she rolled me on my side, my legs came up automatically under my chin in the fetal position. And my voice suddenly became a baby voice. And I started to cry. And I started to say things like, I want my mummy, in a baby voice. And then the nurse said, what's happening, Tom? And I said, it's hurting. Oh, it's hurting. My elbow is hurting. Why is your elbow hurting? It's stuck, it's stuck. Why is it stuck? What's happening? And you know what I said? I said in this baby voice, I'm being born. I'm being born. And that's why, and she said, well, why are you crying? Why are you crying? I said, because I'm being born and it's hurting. Well, why was I born? Why was I born? She's saying, why were you born? And I said, I was born. I remember the word, born. I was born to make people happy. And that was it. I gradually came out of it and I was completely exhausted. I remember when I got home, my wife said to me, Tom, it looks as though you've been doing 15 rounds with a heavyweight champion. You're really knocked out. You're exhausted. And I was. It had really taken it out of me. This going back to being born and then coming out with to make people happy. But that's what I learned. My general purpose in life was that I had been born to make people happy. Not the specific purpose, no details, just the general purpose. I fully believe that everyone is born for a purpose, and one of the requirements in their life is to find out what it is. And then once we found out what it is, to undertake whatever it was we came into human form to do. I was born to make people happy. What were you born for?